كل سنة وانتم طيبين.
Happy Easter.
يسوع عجيب
Jesus is wonderful
وعجيب جدا.
and very wonderful.
لآخر لحظة من حياته
From the last moment of his life,
كان بيترك انطباع على كل شخص بيقابله.
he was leaving handprints on every single person.
قبل ما الشباب يبدأوا التمثيلية البسيطة.
Before the youth actually starts their little skit.
من اللي قراه القسيس في يوحنا 13.
From what Pastor has read from the John 13.
عدد 3 بيقول إن يسوع علم إن الآب عطاله كل شيء.
In verse 13 that the Lord has given him everything.
ومش بس كده هو عارف من فين جه من عند الآب.
And he knew from where he came from the Father.
وفين رايح.
And where he's coming. Or where he's going.
يعني واخد عظمة وجلال مفيش أحسن من كده.
He's been given a status and glory. There's no other greater than that.
بس يسوع عجيب.
But Jesus is great.
وعمل حاجة عجيبة.
And he made more greater things.
قلع.
He took off his robe.
وحط المنشفة.
He put the towel and girded himself.
وغسل رجلين التلاميذ.
And washed the disciples' feet.
لما قريت الكلام ده جسمي
When I read this, my whole body
يعني اقشعر بيسموها
tingled.
أشعر أوكي اقشعر دي بالعربي
shivered, tingled.
ده اللي بيحصل لما الواحد بيتأمل في يسوع الكلمات
That is what
بتعجز على
happens when
التعبير.
you concentrate and meditate on the Lord Jesus and his words.
الغريب في الموضوع إن حكاية غسل الأرجل
The unusual thing is from the story of the washing of the feet.
مكتوبة في إنجيل يوحنا بس.
And it was only written in the book of John only.
بالتفصيل.
In detail.
وإنجيل يوحنا.
And in the Gospel of John.
هدفه الأساسي إنه يعلن لاهوت المسيح.
And his purpose was to show the divinity of Christ.
الإله.
The God, the Lord.
الخدام زي ما كان
بيقول. The servant, as the pastor had said.
عشان كده مش عجيب أبداً.
And that's why it's not that unusual.
كل التلاميذ والرسل.
That all the disciples and the apostles.
كانوا بيبدأوا بيقولوا إحنا خدامين وعبيد
They would always begin saying that we are servants of the Most High King.
شرف ليا.
And it's an honor to me.
إن أنا أخدم
to serve
الإله ده.
the mighty God.
هسيبكم مع الشباب دلوقتي والتمثيلية البسيطة.
I'll leave you with the youth and their skit.
التمثيلية بالمختصر 6 أشخاص كانوا مع المسيح أو شافوا المسيح في آخر لحظات من حياته.
With all simplicity, this skit is about 6 people who saw the Lord's life at the end of him at the end of his life.
وتأثيره العجيب على كل شخص فيهم.
And his impression on every single one of them.
شكرا.
Thank you.
It was a different kind of a Passover meal, to say the least. I remember right when I sat down, Philip leaned over to me and he whispers, "Hey Thomas, I feel like something special is going to happen tonight." I looked at him and I said, "I doubt it." I was wrong. Jesus got up from the table. He walked over and he grabbed a basin of water and a towel. I remember thinking right then, what's Jesus doing with the foot water? I doubt he's going to wash somebody's feet. I was wrong. He knelt down and started to wash Bartholomew's feet. Bart just sat there. He didn't say anything. He didn't move. None of us did. I remember and then Jesus moved on to James and Andrew and the rest of us. I remember thinking right then, this is so strange yet so wonderful. I doubt anyone's going to say anything right now. I was wrong. You know who broke the silence? Peter.
No way. Are you going to wash our feet? That's what I told him. He could wash other people's feet, but he wasn't going to wash mine. So I looked at him and I said, "Jesus, you're not going to wash my feet. I mean, you're the king." He just looked at me and said, "Well, then you can't have anything to do with me." Ouch. So I looked at him and I said, "Well, then you can wash my feet, wash my hands, wash my whole body if you have to." He just looked at me and said, "No, your feet will do just fine." In the midst of washing our feet, he teaches us servanthood.
Then Jesus takes some bread and some wine. He blessed it and he served it to us. He said it was a new covenant with his blood. Then Jesus said, "Tonight, all of you will lose faith in me." I remember thinking right then, lose faith in you? Never. But I didn't say anything. I just sat there.
I couldn't just sit there. I had to say something. So I looked at him and I said, "Jesus, I love you. You can count on me. Everybody else may fall away, but you can count on me." He just looked at me and smiled and said, "Peter, you deny me 3 times before tomorrow morning." Ouch. Next thing I knew, we were wrapping things up and heading to the garden to pray.
Once we got to the garden, it just got crazy. Jesus asked Peter, James, and me to go a little farther in the garden and pray with him. We did. We tried. We kept falling asleep. Jesus kept waking us up. I remember one time he said, "The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." It's true. It's all a blur. And to think this whole mess got started because of Judas? Did he really think what he was doing was right?
There he is. That's the one you want. The one praying by himself. Now the others, they'll try to come up and create some scene, but the one that I kiss on the cheek, that's the one you want. Now, 30 pieces of silver for this, right? That's what we agreed upon? 30 pieces. Now forget about the rest. The one that I kiss on the cheek, that's the one you want.
A kiss? Judas betrays Jesus by a kiss of a friend? Then it just got crazy. Peter grabs a sword and cut off this guy's ear. And Jesus, he just reaches down, picks up the ear, and put it right back on the guy's head, as if nothing happened. Then they took him. I would love to tell you guys that we fought for him, but we didn't. Everybody ran. I ran. I'm so ashamed.
What have I done? What have I done? Was I so stupid to think? I've killed him. I've killed him. I've crucified Jesus.
I crucified Jesus. That's what the crowd wanted, and that's what they got. Personally, I don't think that man did anything to deserve that, but I was just a soldier doing my job. When the governor gave his sentence, that's when I would go to work. I love that job. I felt like I was administrating justice every time I nailed someone to a tree. But that man didn't deserve that. It didn't seem right to me.
Makes no sense. There I was, rotting in a jail cell for stealing, murdering, you name it, and I've done it. I knew the next time I stepped out of this jail cell, that was it. I was dead. So the guards, they came, they got me. They pulled me next to this man who was beaten to a pulp. And Governor Pilate, he started asking the crowd, which one of these men should I set free? I mean, it was obvious. Everyone was going to say, let Jesus go. Then I was going to tell them where they can go. But then something weird happened. They started chanting my name. They were yelling Barabbas over and over again. They were saying my name. So the guards, they came, they got me and they shoved me into the crowd and they took this man off to Golgotha. 1 minute, I'm a man marked for death. Next minute, I'm free. Made no sense, so I followed him to Golgotha.
I was stationed at Golgotha that day. We had just finished raising the second criminal when they brought him to me. I'll never forget the way he looked. He had been beaten, spit on, whipped. He was unrecognizable as a man, hideous. What were left of his clothes was stripped off of him, and he was thrown down on the cross. that's when I went to work. Generally, when you crucify a man, the first hand's the most difficult. The criminal fights you, they want to get away. So I'd have 2 soldiers hold him down. But this guy, he didn't put up a fight. I just thought he was exhausted. As an executioner, I've been called every name in the book. I've had men yell at me, plead with me, but I wasn't prepared for this. He looked at us. He looked at me. He said, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." He forgave me.
Forgive them. Forgive them, he said. Who is this guy? Forgive them? Should have been me upon that cross. He took my place. I remember he took a deep, agonizing breath and he said, "It is finished." And then he died.
Surely, this man was the Son of God.
The kingdom of God is here.
We have a new covenant.
Sin no longer blinds us.
Our debts have been paid.
Sins are forgiven.
Abundant life is ours.
Death is no longer the end.
Faith is in full bloom.
Hope lives.
Love surrounds us.
Spirit is at our doorstep.
Peace is real.
We will sing praises.
He is on the throne.
And remember, I am with you always to the end of the age. Jesus,
Matthew
28:20.
28:20.